In 2017, a brutal crime spree unfolded over the span of just 1 week in the quiet suburbs of Bucks County, Pennsylvania. 4 young men, seemingly unconnected, vanished without a trace, their remains later found buried on a remote farm. It all began on July 5, 2017, when 19-year-old Jimi Patrick, a college student who lived with his grandparents, left home around 6 p.m. and was reported missing the next day after failing to show up for work. Just 2 days later, 19-year-old Dean Finocchiaro also went missing, last seen around 6:30 p.m., being picked up by an unidentified person. That same day, 22-year-old Mark Sturgis went to meet his friend, 21-year-old Thomas Meo. Both men were reported missing after failing to show up for work the following day. Authorities launched an extensive search involving hundreds of officers. Cell phone records and other investigative tools eventually pointed police to a remote farm in Salisbury, Pennsylvania, owned by the DiNardo family. The investigation of the property began, and on July 10th, 20-year-old Cosmo DiNardo was arrested on an unrelated weapons charge. However, he was later released after his father posted 10% of the $1 million bail. 2 days later, he was arrested again after attempting to sell a car belonging to Thomas Meo for $500. The car had been found on the property. The following day, under mounting pressure from investigators, Cosmo DiNardo confessed to the murders of the 4 young men. He revealed that he had lured the victims to his family's farm under the pretext of selling them marijuana. Once there, DiNardo and his cousin, Sean Kratz, killed the men in cold blood. DiNardo provided graphic details about the grisly events.
Who is this?
Jimi Patrick.
Did you murder Jimi Patrick?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Who was
murdered Mark Sturgis.
And who is this?
I murdered Thomas Meo. You guys are digging right here.
Yep.
There's 3 bodies there.
Okay.
The 4th one is right there.
So we get there, I said, okay, well, let me see, the 8,000, let me see the money. So I go to count the money. There's $800 there. So I'm like, dude, if you don't have the money, like, this is horrible. This is not good for me. I said, well, I could sell you a gun. So we get out of the truck, I hand him a shotgun. He goes to shoot it, and I shoot him. Alright, so after you shoot him, I go get the backhoe, dig the hole, said a prayer, put him in the hole. I go to meet up with Dean. Why are you going to meet up with Dean? The drug deal. This is pre-planned? Yeah. What's he to buy off you? Quarter pound of weed. I don't have a quarter pound. I have 2 ounces. So we picked Dean up. Now this was a robbery. He was gonna, rob him in the woods by himself on a quad and kill him. He did. So we come back into the barn. We're looking at the Vespa I had, and when we stopped looking at that, Dean turns around to go walk out. When I went to turn, I just heard a bunch of shots go off. Dean goes down, face down, dead. I took the gun from Trump and I shoot Dean, I think once or twice. I don't know how many times I shot him.
Why was he not dead?
No, he was dead.
Okay.
But I just to finish, I just shot him. I'm not lying, he was dead.
Okay.
His head was split the hell open. His brain, you probably found it. Half his brain was in the barn. He said something's not right. So, when they turn their backs on me, I shoot Tom in the back, drop him. Mark's like, what the? He was such a big kid, I loaded the gun on him. He's paralyzed. He goes, I can't feel my legs, I can't feel my legs. I went and grabbed the machine, because he's screaming now. I'm surprised the neighbors didn't yell.
Why are you shooting him again?
I'm out of bullets. Screaming, going crazy. Sean's got his head in his hands. I grab the backhoe. He sees that coming, just shuts the fuck up, and I just run him over.
During the search, cadaver dogs led investigators to a specific area of the 90-acre property. There, in a 12-foot deep grave, they uncovered the charred remains of Dean Finocchiaro, Mark Sturgis, and Thomas Meo. DiNardo admitted to burning the bodies with gasoline in an attempt to destroy evidence before burying them. Cosmo, once a promising student and athlete, was born to Antonio and Sandra DiNardo, a wealthy couple who built multiple successful businesses. Growing up, Cosmo was considered the golden child. However, his life began to unravel after a series of setbacks. In 2015, he was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, and in 2016, his mental health deteriorated further after suffering severe head injuries, in an ATV accident on his family's farm. This incident is often cited as a turning point in his life, as his behavior became increasingly erratic and paranoid. In the years leading up to the murders, Cosmo had around 30 run-ins with local police. However, his father was always there to bail him out, and he was never convicted of a crime. In the aftermath of the murders, Cosmo pleaded guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder, avoiding the death penalty in exchange for a life sentence without the possibility of parole. His cousin, Sean Kratz, was convicted of 3 murders and sentenced to life in prison. The motive behind the killings remains a subject of debate, and while Cosmo's mental illness was significant, in the end it did not absolve him of responsibility for the murders.